I fell in love with the recorder when I started playing it, which was at 4 years old. And it has such a beautiful sound. It has a really pure sound, but it's incredibly expressive, which I love. This is a CD of works by 20th century English composers. So there are works by various composers, including Gordon Jacob, Malcolm Arnold, York Bowen, Lennox Berkeley and Edmund Rubra. They were writing in very different styles, so some are quite contemporary and some are very romantic in feel. The Gordon Jacob Suite is possibly one of my favourite works on the disc. It's a collection of dance movements, and Gordon Jacob writes incredibly idiomatically for the recorder. He really uses it so well, and there are so many different colours within it. There are some movements which are laments and very slow and peaceful. And then there's a burlesque alla rumba, which is really passionate and driven. And then the whole piece finishes with a tarantella, which is on the sopranino recorder, which is the smallest in the recorder family, so it's very high. And it's incredibly driven, very rhythmic and very exciting. Legend has it that it was a dance that was done to drive the poison out of your body after you've been bitten by a tarantula, and you can really feel that. Gordon Jacob really captures that spirit in this piece. And it's really exciting. It was very exciting to play, and I think it's exciting to listen to as well, I hope. It's been fantastic to work with the Brodowski String Quartet, who are amazing players, and the recorder and strings go so well together. They seem to match so well. And I think that we've come away with some really exciting interpretations. The York Bowen and Lennox Berkeley sonatinas were written either side of the Second World War, and they're very, very different in feel. The Lennox Berkeley is quite full of angst. You can hear the feeling that there must have been around just before the outbreak of war. The second movement is really sparse, very slow and absolutely beautiful. And when I was recording it, I was imagining an image of somebody sitting very, very far away, very still, maybe by a river. And that was the kind of feeling that I had of this complete peace, stillness. The last movement is a big contrast to that. It's very witty. It starts with a mock fanfare opening. It has lots of witty interchanges between the piano and the recorder, and it's quite sarcastic. Whereas the York Bowen is very romantic in feel. York Bowen was an amazing pianist, and the part for the piano is absolutely fantastically written. It's a very positive work, I think.
York Bowen is sometimes referred to as the English Rachmaninoff, but he certainly knew how to write for the piano very well, and the voicings are wonderful. Every time there's a beautiful 4-bar sequence, and you have very many different options. But it's a joy to play his music.
So the first 2 movements are for the treble recorder, and then the last movement, which is very virtuosic, is for the descant recorder. And so it's really different in colour.
In the case of this recording, many of the accompaniments of the pieces we recorded were written with a keyboard accompaniment which was for either harpsichord or for piano. And we chose to do all the accompaniments on the piano because, looking at the various correspondence between the composers and Dolmetsch, the piano was favoured. Dolmetsch actually commissioned York Bowen to write a piece for recorder and harpsichord, but in the process of trying to do so, York Bowen basically gave up and said, "Can I write it for piano instead?"
Alex and I have played together for quite a few years now, and so it's been brilliant working with him for this because we just know each other so well, and he's such a fantastic accompanist. I feel so safe playing with him, so it means that I can be really free. We've played a lot of these works many times in concerts, and so it was really exciting to kind of come back to them afresh and really think about the choices that we've made and change some of those choices and keep it exciting, and I can't think of a better person to have done that with. You might think that on a CD of English works that were all written, within the 20th century, that it would be quite limited, but actually it's really not. They're so different. The Malcolm Arnold Fantasy for Recorder and String Quartet is very contemporary in feel. It uses the recorder in some unusual ways, and you can really hear Malcolm Arnold's background as a film composer. So there are several bits where we had real images of something happening. You could really imagine what the visuals might be. So that really comes across, I think, in the fantasy. It has parts where you have to sing and play at the same time. So I'll be singing one line and playing another, so it's almost doing a duet with myself. The effect is quite ethereal and quite unlike anything else, so that was very exciting. That's also the first time that this piece has been recorded in its original context, in its original version. I've played this repertoire for years in recitals and I absolutely love it. This just shows a different side to the recorder, I think. I absolutely love the works on this disc, and I hope that you enjoy listening to them as much as we've enjoyed recording them.